Smile for the camera, boys! A flash of a camera blinds me, and I blink rapidly to clear the dark spots in my vision. My cheeks sore from the pleasantly fake smile I've had plastered on my face since we pulled into the church. I really hate weddings. Come on, boys, smile, comes a shrill voice to my right, doing nothing for the headache I've had since this morning. I turn to grin at Maisie, my new stepmom. She looks lovely, dressed in a white satin gown that sparkles and pools at her feet, the black hair she must have given Tay curling around her shoulders. Something's off about her, though. Something cold and withdrawn. She has the same blue-green eyes as Taylor, which remind me of the ocean in summer, except her gaze glints with disapproval. They even share the same features, a delicate nose and high cheekbones. But I think his lips must come from his dad because hers are thin, whereas his bottom lip juts out, puffy and juicy enough to bite. Damn it! My fist clenches as Dad pushes us shoulder to shoulder in front of the curtain backdrop, posing as one big happy fucking family. Except for Taylor, who's had a permanent scowl on his beautiful face all morning. He's hardly said 2 words to anyone, other than a few mumbled sentences to my dad when we'd gotten here earlier. Today had almost been a disaster. And of course, it was all thanks to Taylor fucking Tautman. We were supposed to be at the church by 11, but 10:15 had rolled around, and he still hadn't shown up at the house. Finally, by 10:40, he'd peeled into the driveway on his bike, holding some scrawny orange cat. I just tossed the creature inside the house before shoving him into the Honda Civic. Driving him hadn't been my idea, but I was trying to get back on Dad's good side before the next race, so I'd gritted my teeth and put up with the 30-minute awkward drive, Silver Sun pickups filling the silence. The only words he said to me were how gay my music was. But I just turned it up and ignored him. He hadn't said anything else or even looked my way, which was odd. Now, here I stand in the reception hall, trying my hardest to keep my eyes off him. Despite the swelling in his face that matches my own, he looks fucking fantastic in his black tux and red tie, dark hair looking softer than raven's wings as it falls over his brow. His skin is paler than usual, but I chalk it up to the satin jacket washing out his tone. It makes the bruises peppering his face stand out, which had made his mother's eye twitch when she'd seen him. Smile, boys, Dad says as the camera goes off again. Maisie frowns in disappointment as she looks at her son. He's still scowling. Their relationship seems strained, to say the least. According to Dad, Taylor's father had custody of him for the last few years, and he and his mom are trying to repair their relationship. Looking over at him, I do a double take, noting the tension in his shoulders and the strain lines next to his mouth. What's up with your face? I mutter, sweeping my gaze across the heavily decorated church. He glances at me sideways. You punched it, jackass. No, I mean the death glare you've been sporting all morning. He just ignores me. And for some insane reason, I find that even more irritating than his usual snark. It's as if he's entirely different around his mom, and I don't know if I like it. Dad claps us both on the shoulder. All right, enough photos for now. Why don't you two get something to eat? Huxley can introduce you to some of the fam, he adds with a brow waggle, and inwardly I groan. Taylor simply nods, mumbling as he walks away, and Dad frowns after him. Not much of a talker, is he? I open my mouth to tell him something's wrong because the Taylor I know loves the sound of his own voice, but Maisie interrupts me. Oh, he's probably stressed with the move and all. She waves a hand, brushing him off with an eye roll. He's never done well with change. That sounds wrong. I've never seen the asshole exude anything other than rock-solid confidence in any situation. But since she's his mother, she'd know him better than I would. Go make him feel welcome, son. Dad gently pushes me forward with a shove. Show him off to everyone. For the upteenth time today, I grit my teeth. 3 years spent being tormented by this shithead, and now I have to play nice? It's not fucking fair. Weaving my way through round tables covered in white cloths, I find Taylor in front of the dessert table, staring down into the cheesecake bites with a grimace, looking uncomfortable as hell.
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.